So you see the sleek blue armor, the anime mechs, the drones everywhere, and you're thinking, I want an army that actually shoots and doesn't apologize for it. That's the T'AU Empire. In this video, we're going to walk through what the T'AU are in 10th edition, how their main rule actually works, the two big ways people play them right now, and what all the weird units do. Yes, even the Groot and the bug fly guys. And how to start a collection that won't waste your money. This is for the new players. So I'm keeping it simple. I'm keeping it in order. And I'm talking to you like you're building your first 1,000 point army. The T'AU are the future is better faction in 40k. Everybody else in the setting is stuck in superstitions, lost technology, or just loves fighting. The T'AU are the ones saying, no, actually. If we cooperate and share targeting data, we can win cleaner. On the table, that idea becomes a shooting army that gets stronger when more than one unit is working on the same target. That is the heart of the faction. One unit spots, another unit shoots, and together they hit harder than either of them would alone. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember the T'AU are a team army. They're bad when they fight solos. They're scary when they fight as a network. Here's the main thing that makes T'AU feel like T'AU. You don't just point a gun and shoot. You set up the shot. First, one of your units gets line of sight on an enemy. That's your eyes. The unit marks or observes the target. Now the enemy unit is basically lit up. Then you bring your real damage dealers, your suits, your tanks, your best gun line unit. And they fire at the lit up target with better rules than they would have had by themselves. That's why people say T'AU are synergy or support shooters. They reward for focused firing. Every turn should look like spot it, guide it, delete it. When your turns look like that, your army feels amazing. When your turns are this squad shoots over there, that squad shoots over there, that crisis unit shoots something else over there, the army suddenly feels weaker because you just turned off your buffs. Now, how do you win games in 10th edition? 10th edition missions force everyone in middle of the board. That's good for T'AU, but only if you plan for it. The T'AU don't want to be the first thing on the midboard. They want to be the second thing. You send something cheaper, Kroot, Vespid, Breachers in a devilfish, Pathfires on an angle. They touch the objective and they make the enemy come deal with it. The moment they step up to deal with it, they give you line of sight. Then your suits, tanks, or heavy infantry open up and remove the thing that dared to walk forward. So the flow is throw a cheap piece, enemy reveals themselves, shooting network punishes them for that, fall back to safety. That's T'AU's tempo. Let's talk styles because the T'AU actually have a couple of different modes in 10th. One way to play them is slow, patient style. This is the classic, I get nastier later in the game. You hold, you trade small, you don't expose your crisis unit until the board is shaped. And then on turns 3, 4, and 5, your shooting starts to spike. Extra hits, ignoring hit penalties, safer angles. That version of T'AU is really good on dense boards or against armies that have to come to you. It rewards you for not panicking in turn 1. The other way to play them is fast aggressive style. That's the I want to hit you early T'AU. This version loves detachment rules that give you assault on your guns so you can move and still shoot, or lethal hits so 6s just become wounds. You use that to crack open a scary melee unit before it charges, or to pop a key vehicle before it gets into firing lane. This version is great on open boards or versus armies you know will reach you by turn 2. It's also more fun for players who don't like waiting for turn 3 to do something big. Whichever style you pick, the building blocks are the same. So let's go through the units the way a new player actually sees them. Fire warriors first. They're not your main damage. Think of them as your eyes and your hands. They set on a home objective and they get line of sight. They help enable the real guns. Breachers are the close version. They ride in a devilfish, jump out, and help you take a mid-objective for a turn. Both of them are important because they are cheap ways to give your army the observer piece of the puzzle. Pathfinders and other marker-style units are your best spotters. They move fast, they can start on angles, and when they can see something, your suits get to act like real tall suits. A lot of beginner lists feel bad because the player bought 3 expensive suit units and only 1 cheap unit that can actually see. The first time that cheap unit dies, the whole list feels like it stopped working. Even though Pathfinders don't look as cool as battle suits, you take them because they make your battle suits cool. Now the fun part. Crisis battle suits in the Commander. This is the core of why people collect TAU. Crisis are your flexible mid-board killers. They can be built to kill infantry, to hunt vehicles, or to do a mixed job. They love every single buff the Codex or faction pack gives them. Extra range, extra hits, rerolls from the Commander, ignoring modifiers. All that makes suits scale up fast. Your Commander goes in here to make them reliable. Together, they are your best guided unit. The one you point at the spotted target when it really needs to die. Big suits and tanks, Riptide, Hammerhead, Storm Surge, do the same job, just louder. They hold a line. They bully an objective. They give you a threat your opponent can't ignore. These are the units that make people walk toward you, and remember the second they walk toward you, your network shooting is better. Now let's clear up a thing a lot of players don't get. Kroot and Vespid aren't random. Right now, TAU rules actually reward you for taking them. Kroot can move up the board faster than your core TAU troops. They can stand in annoying places, and they can mark targets for your real guns. Vespid can appear where the enemy left a gap and make the target easier to kill, or just score you a secondary. On top of that, some detachments give TAU extra AP or extra reliability if the enemy is near an auxiliary unit. That's why you mix the sci-fi anime, part of the army, with the alien mercenary part. One softens the target, the other finishes it. Let's walk a turn so it's clear. It's your turn too. You've got Kroot on a mid-objective and Pathfinders on an angle. Your opponent brought a scary melee unit forward to clear the group. Perfect. Your Pathfinders can see the unit, so they can act as the observer and light it up. Now your commander and his crisis bodyguard step out. That's the guided unit. Because the target was spotted, your guns get the better profile for this turn. You spend a CP to make the shooting cleaner. You roll. That melee unit, what was going to charge you, is suddenly half the size or gone. And because you have access to movement and fallback tricks, you pull the suits back so they don't just eat a countercharge. That's a good TAU turn. Punish the thing that moved up, then hide. Okay, let's talk collecting because people waste money right here. A safe, new player, friendly starting pile for TAU looks like this. Commander and Crisis, 1 unit of Crisis suits, 1 strike team for home, 1 Devilfish with breachers to actually get to the middle, 1 unit of Group or Vespid so your TAU plus allies rules actually have a target. That's it. That pile already does the main rule, already scores, and already teaches you how the army plays. After that, you add what you like, another Crisis unit if you love suits, a Riptide if you want a big centerpiece, more Groot if you want to lean into a board control version. Since this is for beginners, let's hit the mistakes fast. First, don't split fire everywhere. TAU are at their best when 3 things help 1 thing kill 1 enemy. Second, always bring at least 2 spotters. If you only bring 1, your whole turn depends on that 1 unit surviving and having line of sight. Third, don't stay in the DMZ all game. Tint the Dishes punishes gun lines that never move. Use your Devilfish, use your Groot, advance. Use the movement strats. To get to mid-board, make the enemy react, and then shoot the thing that reacted. Fourth, don't ignore auxiliaries. Right now, the rules actually give them real jobs, scoring, unlocking AP, giving you angles. So run at least 1. So to recap, TAU are a networked shooting army. They spot, they guide, they delete. They win by making the enemy come forward and then punishing the move. They have a slow, patient version and a fast punch-first version. Their suits are the hammer, but their fire warriors, Pathfinders, Kroot, and Vespid are the hands that hold the hammer. If you build lists that let more than one of your unit work on the same target, the army feels great. If you build lists with only hammers and no spotters, the army feels like it's missing something. Be sure to check out the next video as we dive deeper into another faction.